free and the home of the brave, the practice of private citizens engaging in slavery is illegal, but is a constitutional right of the government as punishment for a crime since 1865. The United States has the world's largest prison population, according to the Bureau of Justice Statistics. The prison population of the United States was 1.5 million people at the end of 2017, representing 2.1% of the entire U.S. population. This massive unpaid workforce is used by the government for all sorts of public and private labor. Although in many respects this is slavery, many also would argue that it is a human right to work, and to be deprived of that is a form of dehumanization. The prison industry argues that the already huge cost of housing prisoners would skyrocket if they had to pay prisoners the state or federal minimum wage. According to the Prison Policy Initiative, in an article entitled Following the Money of Mass Incarceration, published in 2017, the cost of running the prison system in America is $182 billion every year. This is a huge burden on the taxpayers and a necessary source of labor for many state governments. Few programs exist to allow prisoners to work in and outside of the prison system, making fair wages. Even where they do exist, the prisons often seize a huge portion of these wages to cover the cost of housing inmates. Many would argue that this form of slavery is unjust, but however, the U.S. Constitution would argue differently. Since 1865, the abolishment of private citizens owning slaves has been upheld, but the government continues to rule that those incarcerated are in fact slaves of the state. In every single case where they appealed to get paid an equal amount for the wages that they would have earned outside of the prison system, they were found summarily to be prisoners of the state and therefore not entitled to wages. The benefits of having them work is to relieve a huge amount of taxes that would have to be distributed from our war efforts overseas to extract oil in order to imprison the population. Not having to pay them frees them up to do work like maintenance and plumbing, electrical work, everything that the prison needs to run, from the laundry to the cooking. It is literally impossible to separate this form of indentured slavery from the prison system, otherwise it would collapse. In the best situation, the prisoner has the option to make as much as 14 cents an hour on average. This is often used so that they can call their families or buy commissary and Zoom Zooms and Wham Whams and other goodies. But these are very few and far between. And 5 states, in fact, do not pay prisoners anything at all for their labor. Another way that prisoners' labor is used is by the private industries. One of these programs is Unicorp, which gathers prisoners with skills and allows them to work in the private sector, couping $500 million a year annually. Prison Industry Enhancement Program is another one, abbreviated as PI. And this also allows prisoners to get jobs in the tech industry, like programming or working for construction companies. But this also comes at the cost of their wages, which, like I said previously, are seized by the prison to pay for its upkeep. One of the ways that this affects prisoners is by the time they are 40 years old, they have made an average of $178,000 less than somebody who was not imprisoned. And by the time they are released, they normally have racked up huge amounts of incarceration fees, where they have to pay for the meals that they were served and the services provided, like going to the doctor or the paying for the watch of them with the guards. The United States Justice Department is inseparable from the slavery necessary to run its vast infrastructure. The huge prison population and massive power of the Justice Department make it impossible to end slavery in the United States. It is the open secret of the justice system that many simply do not see because it is hidden behind a layer of bureaucracy and concrete walls.